Let's talk about inflammation. Not the kind you get from a sprained ankle, but the silent, chronic kind that can simmer under the surface for years. Chronic inflammation is the root of many of today's most serious health problems: heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, even some forms of cancer. But here's the good news. Your diet can be one of the most powerful tools to fight it. Let's break down the best anti-inflammatory foods you should be eating, starting today. First up, leafy greens. Think spinach, kale, Swiss chard. These are loaded with antioxidants, vitamins A and C, and powerful plant compounds that calm inflammation and support immune function. Next, berries. Blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries are rich in anthocyanins, natural antioxidants that give them their vibrant color and help reduce inflammatory markers in the body. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which have been proven in countless studies to reduce chronic inflammation, especially in conditions like heart disease and rheumatoid arthritis. Then we have turmeric, the golden spice. Its active compound, curcumin, is one of the most studied anti-inflammatory agents. Just make sure to pair it with black pepper to boost its absorption. Don't forget about extra virgin olive oil. This kitchen staple isn't just delicious. It's rich in polyphenols and oleocanthal, a compound with effects similar to anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. And let's not ignore the gut. A healthy gut is key to managing inflammation. Foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut introduce good bacteria, while fiber-rich foods like oats, bananas, and onions feed those beneficial microbes. A balanced gut helps regulate immune responses and keeps inflammation in check. But what should you avoid? Refined sugars, ultra-processed foods, and trans fats are known to spike inflammation and stress the body's systems. So if you want to feel better, think fresh, not factory-made. So how do you make this stick? Start simple. Add a handful of berries to your breakfast. Swap butter for olive oil. Make a salmon salad for lunch. Or just sprinkle turmeric into your roasted veggies or tea. These are small shifts, but they can create big changes. Inflammation doesn't go away overnight, but with the right foods, eaten consistently, you give your body what it needs to heal, protect, and thrive. Remember, food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. And it's never too late to start eating for a healthier, less inflamed life. Inflammation is a natural and essential process in the body. It's how the immune system responds to injury, infection, or harmful stimuli. When you cut your finger or catch a cold, your body sends immune cells to the affected area. You may notice redness, swelling, or heat. This is acute inflammation, and it's usually a good thing. It's your body's way of healing and protecting itself. But there's another kind of inflammation that isn't as obvious, and it's far more dangerous. It's called chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation happens when the body stays in a state of low-level immune activation, even when there's no immediate threat. This can happen due to poor diet, long-term stress, lack of sleep, exposure to environmental toxins, or underlying health conditions. Over time, this constant immune response starts to harm healthy tissues and organs. Instead of healing the body, chronic inflammation slowly breaks it down. And unlike acute inflammation, it doesn't come with obvious symptoms right away. You might feel a little more tired, sluggish, or foggy. Maybe your joints ache, or your digestion is off. But the real damage is happening beneath the surface. Science has shown us that chronic inflammation plays a central role in the development of many of today's most common diseases. Conditions like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, arthritis, obesity, and even certain cancers are all linked to long-term inflammation. In fact, chronic inflammation is now considered a key factor in the aging process itself, what some researchers refer to as inflammaging. The important thing to understand is that inflammation isn't inherently bad. It becomes harmful only when it's out of balance. The immune system is supposed to turn on in response to a threat, and then turn off once the threat is gone. But in modern life, with constant exposure to processed foods, sedentary habits, poor sleep, and high stress, the body's immune response can get stuck in the on position. That's when trouble starts. The good news is that we have more control over inflammation than we might think. One of the most powerful tools to manage it is our daily food choices. The things we put on our plate or choose to leave off can either fuel chronic inflammation or help calm it down. That's why learning how to eat in a way that supports the body's natural healing processes is one of the best things you can do for long-term health and energy. The connection between what we eat and how our body manages inflammation is both powerful and often overlooked. Every meal we consume has the potential to either reduce or contribute to inflammation, depending on the types of foods we choose. Our body reacts to food not just as fuel, but as information. And certain foods can trigger inflammatory pathways, while others can help turn those pathways off. When we regularly consume highly processed foods, refined sugars, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats like trans fats or excessive omega-6 oils, our immune system can become overstimulated. These foods can promote the production of inflammatory molecules called cytokines, which can contribute to a persistent, low-grade inflammation in the body. This kind of inflammation isn't immediately noticeable, but over time it can damage cells, tissues, and organs, creating the foundation for chronic health problems. One of the biggest dietary culprits is refined sugar. Found in sodas, candies, pastries, and many packaged foods, sugar can increase insulin levels and promote the release of pro-inflammatory chemicals. It also feeds harmful bacteria in the gut, which disrupts the microbiome, a key player in regulating inflammation. Similarly, refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, and pastries break down quickly into sugar, leading to spikes in blood glucose and promoting inflammatory responses. On the other hand, diets rich in whole, nutrient-dense foods can help calm the inflammatory response. Foods that are high in antioxidants, fiber, healthy fats, and plant compounds can support the body's ability to repair itself and maintain immune balance. Fruits and vegetables, especially those with deep colors like berries, spinach, broccoli, and beets, are packed with antioxidants that neutralize harmful free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, a major contributor to inflammation. Healthy fats also play a crucial role. Omega-3 fatty acids found in foods like wild-caught salmon, flax seeds, and walnuts have been shown to directly reduce inflammatory markers in the body. Unlike the inflammatory omega-6 oils found in many processed foods, omega-3 has helped bring the body back into balance. Even everyday ingredients like extra virgin olive oil contain powerful anti-inflammatory compounds like oleocanthal, which has effects similar to some over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drugs. Fiber is another essential component. High-fiber foods like oats, beans, lentils, and most vegetables feed the beneficial bacteria in the gut, which produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation in the intestinal lining and throughout the body. A healthy gut microbiome plays a key role in immune regulation, and a poor diet can disrupt this delicate ecosystem, leading to inflammation and immune dysregulation. The bottom line is that food is not just about calories or taste. It's about chemistry. The choices we make at each meal have the potential to influence inflammation in either a positive or negative direction. With a few consistent changes, such as reducing processed foods and increasing whole, nutrient-rich options, it's possible to create a strong foundation for a healthier, more balanced immune response. Over time, this not only supports disease prevention, but also promotes better energy, mood, and overall well-being. When it comes to reducing inflammation naturally, food can be one of the most powerful tools we have. Certain foods are packed with compounds that help the body regulate its immune response, repair tissue, and fight off the damage caused by chronic inflammation. And the best part is, many of these anti-inflammatory foods are delicious, easy to find, and can be added to your meals right away. One of the top food groups to focus on is leafy green vegetables. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, and collard greens are rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin K, and polyphenols. These compounds help protect your cells from damage and reduce inflammation in a natural way. Including a variety of greens in your diet is a simple but effective step toward supporting your body's healing processes. Berries are another anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries are full of antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, the compounds that give them their rich, vibrant color. These help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation at the cellular level. Just a handful of berries in your morning smoothie or oatmeal can make a difference over time. Fatty fish such as wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids like EPA and DHA. These essential fats have been widely studied for their ability to reduce inflammation, especially in conditions like heart disease and joint pain. Eating fish 2 to 3 times per week can help lower inflammatory markers in the blood and support overall cardiovascular health. Turmeric is a spice that's gained a lot of attention, and for good reason. It contains curcumin, a compound with strong anti-inflammatory properties. Curcumin has been shown to help reduce inflammation in joints, muscles, and even the brain. For better absorption, turmeric should be paired with black pepper, which contains piperine, a natural compound that can boost the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Extra virgin olive oil is another staple of an anti-inflammatory diet. It contains oleocanthal, which has effects similar to anti-inflammatory medications, but without the side effects. Replacing processed vegetable oils or butter with olive oil in cooking dressings or drizzling over meals is an easy and tasty way to support your body. Nuts and seeds like walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds are excellent sources of plant-based omega-3s and other anti-inflammatory nutrients. They also provide fiber and antioxidants that promote gut and heart health. Just a small serving a day, about a handful, can contribute to long-term inflammation control. Even beverages can play a role. Green tea, for example, is loaded with catechins, which are natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. Drinking 1 to 2 cups a day can support your body's defense systems and reduce chronic inflammation over time. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower also offer strong anti-inflammatory benefits. They contain sulforaphane, a compound that helps fight oxidative stress and supports detoxification pathways in the body. Eating anti-inflammatory foods isn't about restriction. It's about nourishing your body with the right fuel. By focusing on whole, colorful, and nutrient-dense foods, you're giving your body the tools it needs to stay strong, balanced, and resilient against inflammation. The more consistently you eat these foods, the more powerful their effects become over time. Just as certain foods can help reduce inflammation, others can do the exact opposite, triggering or worsening chronic inflammation throughout the body. Unfortunately, many of these inflammatory foods are common in modern diets, often found in packaged, processed, and convenience foods that are easy to grab but can silently contribute to long-term health issues when consumed regularly. Understanding which foods to limit or avoid is just as important as knowing what to include when aiming to support a healthier, more balanced immune response. One of the biggest culprits is refined sugar. Consuming high amounts of added sugars, such as those found in soda, candy, sweetened cereals, pastries, and many processed snacks, can cause spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels. These spikes can increase the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are molecules that promote inflammation in the body. Over time, consistently high sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, a condition linked to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease, all of which are closely associated with chronic inflammation. Refined carbohydrates, including white bread, white rice, and many packaged baked goods, are another category to watch. These foods are stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients, making them digest quickly and leading to rapid increases in blood glucose. This rapid spike and crash in blood sugar not only leaves you feeling tired and hungry soon after eating, but it also triggers inflammatory responses, especially when consumed in large quantities or over long periods. Trans fats are another well-known inflammatory food ingredient. These unhealthy fats are often found in margarine, shortening, fried fast foods, and baked goods made with partially hydrogenated oils. Research has shown that trans fats increase levels of inflammatory markers in the blood and contribute to the development of chronic conditions like heart disease and insulin resistance. Many countries have taken steps to reduce or ban trans fats in food products, but they can still be present in some processed or imported foods, so reading ingredient labels remains important. Processed meats like sausages, bacon, hot dogs, and deli slices are also strongly linked to increased inflammation. These meats often contain preservatives such as nitrates and nitrites, which may contribute to oxidative stress and inflammatory damage in the body. In addition, they are frequently high in saturated fat and sodium, both of which can contribute to cardiovascular issues and inflammation when consumed in excess. Excessive alcohol intake can also play a role in inflammation. While moderate alcohol consumption may have some potential health benefits for certain individuals, regularly drinking in large amounts can disrupt gut health, impair liver function, and increase systemic inflammation. Chronic alcohol consumption can damage the cells of the intestinal lining, leading to what's commonly referred to as leaky gut, where harmful substances pass into the bloodstream and trigger immune responses. Another group to be cautious with includes highly processed and packaged snack foods. Think chips, crackers, instant noodles, and flavored snack mixes. These foods often contain a combination of refined carbs, unhealthy fats, artificial additives, and excess sodium, all of which can contribute to inflammation when consumed frequently. Finally, it's not just individual ingredients, but also the overall pattern of eating that matters. Diets high in processed foods and low in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats tend to create the perfect environment for chronic inflammation to thrive. This is why a shift toward whole, minimally processed foods is so effective. It's not about perfection or restriction, but about making more informed choices that support your body in the long term. Reducing your intake of these inflammatory foods doesn't mean giving up everything you enjoy. It means becoming more mindful of what you're putting into your body. Swapping sugary drinks for water or herbal tea, replacing refined carbs with whole grains, and choosing fresh over packaged foods can all add up to meaningful improvements in how you feel and function over time. The health of your gut plays a much larger role in managing inflammation than most people realize. In fact, the gut and the immune system are deeply connected, with over 70% of the immune system located in the gut lining. When your gut is healthy and balanced, it helps regulate the immune response and keeps inflammation under control. But when the gut is out of balance, often referred to as gut dysbiosis, it can become a major trigger for chronic inflammation throughout the body. Inside your gut is a vast ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microbes. This community is called the gut microbiome, and when it's diverse and balanced, it supports digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune function. The beneficial bacteria in your gut produce substances like short-chain fatty acids that help reduce inflammation and protect the intestinal lining. However, when the balance of good and bad bacteria is disrupted, due to poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, antibiotic use, or exposure to toxins, it can lead to a weakened gut barrier. A compromised gut lining can become more permeable, a condition sometimes referred to as leaky gut. This allows partially digested food particles, toxins, and bacteria to pass into the bloodstream, where they don't belong. When the immune system detects these foreign invaders, it responds with inflammation, thinking the body is under threat. Over time, this ongoing immune response can become chronic, contributing to inflammatory conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, autoimmune diseases, skin issues, and even mood disorders. The foods you eat directly influence the health of your gut microbiome. Diets high in processed foods, refined sugars, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats can feed the harmful bacteria, while starving the beneficial ones. This imbalance promotes inflammation and weakens the gut's ability to function as a barrier and immune regulator. On the flip side, certain foods can nourish and support the gut. Probiotic-rich foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso introduce beneficial bacteria to the digestive system. These foods help repopulate the gut with healthy microbes and restore balance. Prebiotic foods, such as garlic, onions, leeks, bananas, oats, and asparagus, feed the good bacteria and help them thrive. Together, probiotics and prebiotics form a powerful team for maintaining gut health and reducing inflammation. Fiber is another critical component for a healthy gut. It doesn't just help with digestion, it's the primary food source for many beneficial microbes. When these bacteria ferment fiber in the colon, They produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which have anti-inflammatory properties and help maintain the integrity of the gut lining. Managing stress is also essential, as high stress levels can negatively impact the gut-brain axis, a communication pathway between your brain and digestive system. Chronic stress can alter gut motility, increase intestinal permeability, and disrupt the balance of the microbiome, all of which can contribute to inflammation. Taking care of your gut is not about quick fixes or expensive supplements. It's about daily habits that support the body's natural balance. A diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods, plenty of fiber, fermented foods, and a variety of plant-based ingredients helps create an environment where beneficial bacteria can thrive. When the gut is functioning optimally, it supports not just digestion, but the body's overall inflammatory balance, leading to better energy, mood, immunity, and long-term health. Making anti-inflammatory eating a daily habit doesn't have to be overwhelming or complicated. In fact, with a few simple shifts and smart choices, you can begin to include more healing, inflammation-fighting foods into your routine without sacrificing flavor or convenience. The key is to focus on consistency and variety, aiming to fill your plate with whole, colorful, and nutrient-dense foods at every meal. One of the easiest ways to start is by building your meals around vegetables. Try to fill at least half your plate with a variety of non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, bell peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and zucchini. These foods are high in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, and they can be roasted, steamed, sautéed, or eaten raw depending on your taste. Adding greens to your breakfast smoothie or tossing a handful of spinach into scrambled eggs is an effortless way to boost your vegetable intake early in the day. Swap out refined grains with whole grains such as quinoa, brown rice, oats, or barley. These complex carbs are rich in fiber and help keep blood sugar levels stable, which is important for controlling inflammation. Oatmeal topped with berries, flax seeds, and a drizzle of almond butter makes for a nourishing and anti-inflammatory breakfast. For lunch or dinner, try grain bowls that include a base of quinoa or rice, topped with roasted vegetables, leafy greens, a source of protein, and a dressing made with olive oil and lemon. Speaking of healthy fats, replace processed oils with extra virgin olive oil in your cooking. Use it as a base for salad dressings. Drizzle it over cooked vegetables, or mix it with herbs and spices as a dip for whole grain bread. Avocados are another excellent source of healthy fats and can be added to salads, spread on toast, or blended into smoothies for a creamy texture. Incorporating fatty fish into your meals a couple of times a week is a great way to get anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel can be baked, grilled, or added to salads and grain bowls. If you don't eat fish, consider adding flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts into your meals for plant-based omega-3s. These can easily be sprinkled into oatmeal, smoothies, or yogurt. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi can support gut health and reduce inflammation. A few spoonfuls a day are enough to make a difference. Just make sure to choose versions with live and active cultures and minimal added sugar. If you're not used to these foods, start small and gradually increase your intake. Adding herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, garlic, and oregano not only enhances the flavor of your meals, but also provides powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Try blending turmeric into smoothies, stirring it into soups, or using it as part of a seasoning mix for roasted vegetables or chicken. Don't forget to pair it with black pepper to boost absorption. Keep anti-inflammatory snacks on hand to stay on track. Fresh fruit, raw nuts, hummus with sliced veggies, or a small bowl of Greek yogurt with berries can help curb hunger between meals without triggering inflammation. Finally, stay hydrated with anti-inflammatory beverages like green tea, herbal infusions, or simply water with lemon or cucumber slices. These help flush toxins from the body, support digestion, and keep your system in balance. By planning ahead, shopping with intention, and preparing meals at home more often, you can gradually create a routine that supports your health without stress. Start small, make manageable changes, and build from there. Your body will thank you. In conclusion, inflammation is a natural part of the body's defense system, but when it becomes chronic, it can silently contribute to many serious health issues. The good news is that we have the power to influence inflammation through the choices we make every single day, especially when it comes to the foods we eat. By focusing on nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, fatty fish, whole grains, healthy fats, and fermented foods, we can help our bodies heal, restore balance, and protect against disease. At the same time, being mindful about limiting processed foods, excess sugar, refined carbs, and unhealthy fats is just as important for long-term well-being. Small changes made consistently over time can lead to big results. Whether it's adding a handful of greens to your breakfast, choosing olive oil over processed oils, or simply drinking more water and herbal teas, each choice matters. Supporting gut health, staying active, managing stress, and getting good sleep all work hand in hand with a nourishing diet to calm inflammation and improve how we feel from the inside out. Remember, this is not about being perfect. It's about progress. Taking even one step today toward a more anti-inflammatory lifestyle is a step in the right direction. So start where you are, use what you have, and let food be one of the most powerful tools on your journey to better health.